Hey YouTube family, it's your girl Gina, and y'all, today I'm be doing something I have not done yet in this kitchen. I am going to can some of my sweet potatoes. So a lot of the potatoes that you would have saw me harvest were not very big. So I was like, you know what, maybe I can can these and that'll be a way that I can enjoy them. Like, I mean, of course I don't have to can them to eat them, but I was like, I could can some of these. I have left some behind because I will use some of these to start slips next year. But I'm like, I think I'm gonna can up a lot of these. So I have a lot of purple ones. I have some white. These are white flesh, I believe. And then I have some that have the orange flesh. They have a red skin, but orange flesh. I have no idea the varieties except for this one. I do know it's I forget. The original that I grew these from. I ordered from Azure Standard. I don't remember the variety though. I ordered it probably 2 years ago or so, and I just keep growing potatoes from slips that I create with the new potatoes. All right, so got my potato peeler, and I'm just going to peel up these potatoes, and then I'll cut them, and we're gonna can them up. We're gonna see how they do. My hope is that they don't turn into mashed sweet potatoes. That's my hope. I'm hoping they're not too small to hold up to the canning process. So that is my hope. And y'all gonna find out with me if this is a great idea or a fail. And you can tell if your potatoes are, I feel like you can, if they're too soft in the jar. So I have never canned some that were, but in my mind, you will be able to tell. So that's what I'm thinking. You'll be able to tell if they're a little bit too much happening over there. So even the ones that are smaller, we gonna see these have an orange, like your normal, what are those called? Beauregards. This is not a Beauregard though, because Beauregards don't have a red skin. But it has the orange flesh, not flesh, middle. Oh, that is the flesh, yeah. Orange flesh. Y'all, I'm having a day. It's the end of my day. I have work today, and then I came home and was like, you know what? Let's do something with these sweet potatoes. So that's what we gonna do. We gonna do something with these sweet potatoes. I'm gonna do one of these, just so you can see the difference in the flesh of these potatoes. I have 3 different ones that I grew, and that's just the ones that I grew at home. I still haven't harvested the ones from the community garden. I'm trying to let those go a little longer in hopes that I get more larger potatoes, so we'll see. But out there, I have like a couple, I think I have Beauregards out there. No, I do. I actually know I have Beauregards out there. See, this is the white. But I also have the Georgia Jet, and I had another one. I have to look it up to see what the variety was, so when I harvest it, I can remind everybody what that is, because I don't remember. I think it was yellow something, but I ordered them from the Tater Man, and the slips were very beautiful. Like, they arrived in great condition. So if you're somebody who doesn't really want to bother with making your own slips, or you want to grow a variety of potato that you've never had, I would recommend him. I will link him below in the video in the description if you want to check out his site for sweet potato slips. I was recommended him through Tixie, and she's been using him for quite a while. She grows a lot of sweet potatoes and a lot of different varieties. Her and her family absolutely love sweet potatoes to the point that they can eat sweet potatoes every day. So I ain't that big on them, but I do like them. I can't eat them every day though. I don't love them. Not like that anyway. I ain't gonna say I don't love them, but I don't love them like that. But yeah, so we're gonna peel up all of these. What I'm hoping is that in the end, I end up with about 3 jars, if not more, but at least 3 jars, pint-sized jars of sweet potatoes. My youngest, she does not like, she's like her mama a little bit on that. She's not big on the sweet items. She doesn't do that. She doesn't like baked beans. I can eat baked beans, but I can pass more than I can eat it. I don't very often even want something like that. I'm not big on the sweets. And she doesn't like sweet potatoes either. So, and I could take these and do pies with them, but I have more sweet potatoes. So, yeah, we ain't gonna worry about all the other things that can be done with it because I have other potatoes that I can do things with. Okay? So, I'm gonna finish these up, get them all peeled, and then I will chop them. And when I chop these, I am going to, now after I peel them, I'm going to wash them off, rinse them off, because I did not rinse them off before peeling them. So whatever dirt was on them from harvesting them is still on them. I know, y'all, but I didn't. So I'm going to clean them up after I peel them. And I'm going to cut them like these ones that are small. I might just cut in half. Like, I'm not going to be cutting them into small pieces because I want them to hold up. I don't want them to be mashed sweet potatoes. So I'm going to show you this one in a second. But this is one that I'll probably just cut in half. And this one potato just be 2 pieces. So that's the thought there. Something like this, maybe 3. And that way, hopefully, it doesn't become a problem during the canning process of, you know, it cooking, overcooking it because it's not that big. So, yeah, they're going to be all kind of shapes and sizes in them jars, and it's going to be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. All right, y'all. I am about to finish this, like I said, and then I will bring y'all back when we're ready to put these in some jars. All right? All right, guys. All right, guys. So, as you can see, we are now in the kitchen. We are going to put together some, let me make sure you can see. There we go. I want you to be able to see the stove. A syrup for the sweet potatoes. The pot is not hot. I actually just turned the eye on. I am going to put water. I think I'm going to do because I don't think I'm going to have as much sweet potatoes as I would need to do the full recipe for this, the simple syrup. So I think I'm going to do, I have 4 jars in there. I'm hoping I get 4, might only get 3. I think I'm going to do like 8 cups of water and like 2 cups of sugar. We'll see. All right, let me get some water. We're gonna get some sugar. Hold on. I think this, what's left in here might just be 2 cups. Not even. So we're going to use all that. Which was what I was thinking. I was going to use all of it. Alright. That's just some organic cane sugar that I had. gonna stir that and let that sugar get completely dissolved. And then I will get my jars out, bring my sweet potatoes over, and then we can get everything together. So I'm just doing a little syrup to go over the potatoes in the jars. Like I said, that was cane sugar. You can just use white sugar. You ain't gotta use cane. I just had some and I figured that was gonna be about enough. You see, I didn't even really end up putting 2 cups in there. It was literally like maybe a cup and a fourth or something like that. It'd be all right, because you can always add more sugar later if you want some more sweetness to your sweet potatoes. I think it'll be fine for me, because I told you I'm not real big on sweet stuff like that. Not with a meal, anyway. Like if it was pie, it's supposed to be a little sweeter. So I think that's what I'm gonna do with some of the other potatoes. Of course, I'll eat some just as they are, but I think I'm going to make like some sweet potato pie filling maybe that I can freeze. We'll see. I don't know yet. I'm trying to think of all the things I can do to preserve up these things that I'm going to go back and actually eat. How about that? I do like a sweet potato pie, but that'll be a lot, one whole pie in this house, unless I'm having people over. Or I could buy some dough and make some mini pies, or make my own dough and make some mini pies, I guess. Ooh, I could do that and then freeze it like that, and then whenever I want a pie, pull it out and cook it and bake it. I might do that. Make some mini pies, like not the mini pie in a tin thing, like a turnover type thing, where I fill it and then turn it over and then press the sides all around, make out like a little half moon pie situation. So guys, I'm gonna let this come to a low boil, then I think we'll be ready, because it'll probably be dissolved fully by that time, and then I'll be back. Alright guys, so I went ahead and filled my jars with the potatoes, and now my syrup is ready. So now I'm going to fill the jars with the syrup, and you could do quart size. I'm doing pints, like I said, because I'd rather not waste. Alright. And we're going to 1-inch headspace. I was trying not to have any spillage. That's why I did it the other way the first time. But I'm just trying to get it done. We gotta get stuff done. Alright. We can always clean up that. I was just about on the money with the syrup. I might have just a little bit extra. Also, if you didn't notice, I have an extra 2 jars, because when I filled my jars, I still had a lot of potatoes. So I was like, let me grab some more jars and clean them up, get them ready. All right, so I filled them to a 1/2 inch. I'm gonna try and debubble a little. I ain't gonna lie, it's hard because potatoes, they don't be moving like that. And I got them pressed down in there as tight as I can get them, even though I had pockets that I could see, just because my potatoes are shaped all over the place. So just like I just popped one out that I had pressed down in there. Get it pressed right back down in there. There we go. All right. put this in the sink. Alright, grab me a paper towel so we can wipe off the mouths of these jars. Alright. Wiped off. I'm just going to toss the rest of this vinegar into the canner. And we need our lids. Almost dropped it. We're going to see how these do, y'all. Like I said, I never can potatoes outside of putting it in with another item. I've done the pot roast in a jar with potatoes, and they did great. But this is my first time just doing some potatoes of any kind by themselves. I don't plan on doing any of my white potatoes like this. I do plan on doing the jar meals again though. So like the pot roast in the jar. Alright, let me grab one more ring. And when you put these on, like I said, I go till I feel that wall where I can't do this, and then I give it a little bit more of a twist. So not tight, but you know, just making sure it's on there good. Just checking them. So that one felt like it had a little more give. You don't want it tight because you want the lids to come off when it cools. I've never had mine on so tight that I couldn't get them off, so that's not been my testimony. Alright guys, so grabbing the lid to our canner, and we're going to put that on. So, as I've told you guys before, this right here, once it gets the pressure, that will pop up and it will stay up. And at that time, I will put the weight here. This is a safety to keep your canner from if it builds up too much pressure it will pop off so that the pressure can release. Y'all, that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm on the wrong way. I'm like, why ain't it going on there? There we go. Alright, so now I'm just going to allow it to come to pressure. And once it does, I will be back and then we'll put the weight on. Alright? Alright guys, so we have been at pressure. So now, when this comes up, we let that go for 10 minutes before we put the weight on, okay? So now we're about to put the weight on. Ooh, that was hot. Yeah, I'm trying to do it looking through the camera instead of just looking. Alright, we got the weight on. We're going to go 10 minutes before the timer starts. This is going to pressure can for 75 minutes, which is an hour 15 minutes. So we will be back in an hour and 25 minutes, which puts us at 9:30. Okay, so I will see y'all then. Alright guys, 9:30. Turn this off. I'm gonna push it back. Hold on, let me move that. I'm gonna push it back off the eye, and then it will begin to cool down. I will not remove that until that drops. Okay, so when that drops, that's how I know that it's completely depressured. Alright guys, All right, I'll be back when it's time to take the jars out. All right, guys, so I did open the canner, but I have not pulled out any jars to even look at it for myself. So we'll see it together. There we go. You see it's still bubbling because it's hot. So it's got that color because of those purple sweet potatoes, and I'm okay with that. Yep, and it looks like the purple ones don't look purple so much anymore. So we're gonna pull them all out. Almost like the color is given in the jars a little bit. Y'all see it bubbling. I know y'all see that. That's because they're still hot. Usually, because look, this is PM. Usually I be in bed, and this is a work night. I was in bed, but I got up to pull these jars out because I don't want them sitting in the canner all night and end up, you know, it just being hot in that canner and just still kind of cooking. I wanted my potatoes to still be potatoes. And it looks like that's what I got, y'all. I don't think I'm going to have mashed sweet potatoes. They look like they held up. Okay. All right, guys. So those are some canned sweet potatoes. I mixed them up. Y'all saw that. I had purple. I had the white. And I don't know what the other variety was, but it did have the typical orange flesh. And yeah, there we go. All right. So I hope y'all like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.